All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Friday. It's another episode of the What's Up Wenatchee podcast. My name is Nikki Darling, and happy Friday to everybody. It has been a week, and there's going to be a lot for us to cover today. We're happy that we're seeing some nice warm weather for the weekend, but we're still in the middle of Friday. Very happy and upbeat and having a great Friday mood, jubilation kind of celebratory mood today. We'll tell you why. We have a really great show ahead of us today, really jam-packed. We're trying to get as much as we possibly can into these next 2 hours. Just to give you a heads up of what's to come, we are broadcasting live from the Brave Warrior Project facility today. And I wasn't aware that they just moved their facilities to get a bit more space. And wouldn't you know it, they're in need of even more space. And once we get in deep, a little bit more of a deeper dive with their owner and founder, Erica, you'll find out why they are in need of a bit more space here, and because of just the great work that they're doing in the community that they're doing it with the special needs community. And just wonderful facility that we got a chance to walk through earlier and tell you about that experience. We're going to get a chance to sit down with General Manager of the Wenatchee Wild, Bliss Littler. Big news for the Wild this week. They announced that they are leaving the BCHL and entering into the WHL. And so we'll sit down, we'll talk to him about what that means, not only for hockey here in Wenatchee, but for the fans, for the players, and for the staff, because they announced their coaching staff yesterday as well. Coach Clarkey making his way back in as head coach, so we're happy about that. So we'll sit down with Bliss as well. Mary Big Bull Lewis going to be on the program again. She is the owner operator, or half operator and owner of Wenatchee Wear, but she is also the executive director and founder of IRF, which is the Indigenous Roots and Reparation Foundation. And they're involved in another really awesome event this weekend, which is the Salmon Release Parade and Activities. And that's happening at Riverside Park in Kashmir. And I love this because this is not something that would have been celebrated where I grew up. The release, the seasonal release of salmon was not maybe the seasonal release of meatballs, right? Like that in the East Coast in New Jersey, they're like, yes, let's do the running of the meatballs. Like that was more our style in New Jersey. But no, I'm hearing it's a big thing. The salmon release every year. I know it's a big thing, and they're doing it's part of the Kashmir Founders Day. They also have a car show for Founders Day as well over at the Mission Creek Community Club. So there's Kashmir's Founders Day is always a big deal for them. But we will sit down with Mary Big Bull Lewis and talk about the salmon release parade and activities that they are being a part of, and what that is all about. Other big news this week we are going to get into. If you haven't heard, the Washington State swap meet is definitely happening. It was announced. An article came out in kpq.com this past week. It's something that we have been working on here at Darling Productions for quite a while. And now the cat is out of the bag. So we have been inundated with emails and messages and Facebook messages and texts. And what is this? How do we get involved? How do we sign up? WashingtonStateSwapMeet.com. Go there. All the information is there. But we're going to talk about all of that. Like, I'll tell you, where the idea came from, why we're doing it, and how you can get involved and sign up, and why something like this is important to the environment. And why we want to get environmental agencies and resources and those nonprofits involved in this statewide event as well. And I'm told that April Castle, my messy mom cohort, might jump on here at the end remotely. Although, if anybody is wondering why we don't have a Messy Moms podcast actually up and running, like why there aren't episodes, you can blame April like 110%. I put Grace is like, you're putting April on blast right now. Well, whatever.
I get it.
You get it. I will show you my phone right. Just whatever. We're messy moms. It's okay. This is all part of the shtick. Look at this. June 21st at 10 a.m. It says April MM, which means April Messy Moms. We had a 10 a.m. meeting Wednesday morning to talk about messy moms, to do a good 90 minutes of sit down work for Messy Moms podcast. Guess who didn't show?
I'm going to go with not you.
I was there. I was there.
You know.
I was there. When you're trying to do a Messy Moms podcast with two very busy, very messy moms, we might have to, yeah, I know. We might have to find another way to get through this, but we're going to make it with one way or another. We're going to make it happen. But we have a Messy Moms ladies night comedy, which is definitely out there. It's definitely happening. It's booked for July 14th at the Snowdrift Cider Company. We've got Lane Henkel, Michael Lee Miller, and April Castle. I'll be hosting, which will be the worst part of the evening, I guarantee you, because I'm not very funny in a stand-up comedy kind of way. Grace says, maybe. I'm going to work on it. No, it's going to be fine. Exactly. I am working on it. It's going to be a blast. We'll have drink specials. We have sponsor tables available, tables of 10. We'll give you all the information on the Messy Moms podcast ladies comedy night. If April decides that she wants to join us a little bit later on. Here's the flyer for that. Lane Henkel, Michael Lee Miller, April Castle, me, and $25 ticket, or you could buy one of those sponsorship tables as well. And I have information on a ticket giveaway. I told you we have a really, really, really packed show today. A ticket giveaway for the Pangbourne Festival of Flights Big Band Dinner and Dance. So they're doing a dinner and dance silent auction on the Friday night, and then they have the Festival of Flights, which is another awesome event. Vintage airplanes. They have like 100 vintage airplanes coming in for this Festival of Flights that are going to be up at the airport. We were like, I didn't even know that they did something like this. I'm like, well, yeah, I know. Isn't it like they come in from all over the world and they like fly into our airport and hang out, and they're like these vintage planes, and you get to just walk around and hang out, and there's gonna be music and food and all other fun activities. We're going to get a commissioned artist to do a live on-site live painting during the event that is represents the bridging of the gap of the sister cities. So Misawa, Japan, where Miss Vidal took off from, and Wenatchee, Washington, where Miss Vidal landed, and do an art piece that represents both of those cities and kind of bridging the gap between both of those cities, and then auction it off for an aviation scholarship. So we'll have tickets to that silent auction big band dance with the Wenatchee Big Band. So we'll tell you how you can win those tickets as well. Why don't you come sit over here? So a couple of
I almost thought I wasn't gonna have to. But
no. So a couple of weeks ago, I introduced people to some pictures back from the Classy Chassis.
Yes.
And
wonderful event.
Yeah, it was a really fun event.
It was a lot of fun.
And I said, hey, we have some people joining on to the team and joining on to the street team. And then so Classy Chassis was a couple months ago? I don't even know.
Maybe like was it already? Yeah, it was like a month ago, right? It was like a couple months. So I don't think it's been a couple yet. But
I have no
but...
concept of time, I tell you. But you were part of that event with us, and you helped, you smashed the PT Cruiser. We had some cool pictures of that. But I showed some pictures on the podcast.
Yes.
And introduced the audience to you by picture via pictures. But here you are in person.
Yes,
so
right?
Introduce people to Camille. Hi.
Hello. I'm Camille. Full-time student. I am a certified substance abuse counselor. I'm currently working as a server because counseling and going to school just became extremely too much to handle. And then I started helping out this wonderful woman with her podcast over here, and it has been amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we're happy to have you as part of the team now, and wanted to at least get you on here to introduce you because you're going to be helping out and chiming in, and people are going to have to get used to your face and your opinions and your sass and your whatever.
Well, if you know me, you're already probably pretty used to it anyways. But if you don't know me, well, you're in for a little treat.
Buckle up, folks, because here comes Camille.
I mean, my name is named after a hurricane, right? Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, there is hurricane.
and
so
you are
also
a karaoke host.
Yes.
So there's that too.
Yeah, you gotta have a little sass to karaoke host.
We are basically like the same person, you and I. I don't know how that happened. When I say like I needed another me, it was like I found a Camille and it was like, oh, here's another Nikki. Like, oh,
sister from another mister.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're happy to have you. And from time to time, I'll just ask your opinion on random things.
Perfect.
And this is, you helped us get here.
Yes.
Helped us set this up for today at the Brave Warrior Project.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is awesome. I know that they have a fundraiser gig that they're doing tomorrow night.
Yeah, with Columbia Valley Brewery and River Cigar Bar House.
Right.
Yes.
And which is cool. And as Ryan and I were talking about it, right?
Yeah.
He actually brought it up to me.
Oh.
How cool is that?
That is really cool.
He's like, because he never wants to leave the house. He's a total homebody.
Yeah.
But he's got a few musical bands that he really likes to follow.
And there's some pretty cool bands.
There are. One of them is Datura.
Yes.
So there's Datura, there's the Nightmares, and oh gosh, the last one is now Defiant.
Yep.
And so I thought it was just these bands that were playing. And so I was like, oh, that's cool. I really like Datura. We both do.
Yeah.
And he came up to me and he was like, how about we go down and we see Datura down at Columbia Valley on Saturday night? And I was like, well, really? Because I was already thinking like, how can we go out?
Yeah, like how can I convince him
to come
out with me?
How can I convince him to go out with me?
Usually with my man, it's karaoke because we're both karaoke junkies. So I'm like, well, let's go to karaoke. And that's a way to get him out.
Yeah. And so for him asking me to go out was like,
right?
and I'm like, so what are we going to do with Trenton?
Yeah.
Our son, Trenton.
Yeah.
And then so it clicked. I was like, that's the rock on the Riverside for the Brave Warrior Project.
Yes.
And it's totally family friendly.
Totally. You sure you're going to bring him?
We're going to bring him.
Yes. Is this going to be his first Like,
no,
okay, I was
we
gonna say
took
he's probably
him.
been to
We took
shows
him to
before, but-
Artemidorus.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he saw the laser
All the lights
lights
and
and
the
the
things.
Pink Floyd and the
Oh.
screaming lady. He loved it.
Oh, I bet he did.
He did.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
but
So
this
then
is it's fun for like the whole
Yes.
family. Obviously, there's music, but they've got like games.
Oh, yeah.
And
They got a nice setup over there.
yeah. So they're setting up all kinds of stuff.
And all the the proceeds go towards Brave Warrior.
This place here. Yeah. So if you don't really know about it, like I know a lot of people aren't going to know about the Brave Warrior Project because it's really not that old.
No, it really isn't. It kind of came about because of COVID, really.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no need and there was, no resources for kids with special needs to do anything in this valley aside from very particular programs that had small, narrow area
Right.
of outreach, basically.
Yeah. And we were talking about this earlier that this place grew so
Holy
fast,
moly. Yeah.
so quick.
Yeah.
Right, just in the past, whatever 6 years that they've been around, and
Yeah.
just exponential growth because of the huge need in this
Yeah.
community for programs for people with special needs.
Absolutely. And and thank goodness in a way for something like a pandemic to give it exposure in a
Right.
way, because it shows how much of a need it was in this valley. And the fact that they have a facility, I mean, she was telling us they didn't even have windows in their last,
Yeah, little tiny windows.
We're in an amazing office with amazing light. Like
Yeah.
we could open up those blinds and it would just be so bright. in
Right, and
here.
and not a lot of
This
people
one
talk
room.
about how much like natural light
Yes.
does for your mental well-being and
Absolutely.
your mental health. So
100%.
yeah, for anybody.
Yeah,
It doesn't
in
need to be
general.
special needs.
Yes.
But the Brave Warrior Project does help. It was started to help younger children with special needs. Now also helping adults with having programs
Yeah.
for adults with special needs as well. So and chronic illness.
Yep.
So they're doing wonderful work. I can't wait to actually talk to Erica about this. So why don't you
Yes,
go
I'll
grab Erica?
her. Okay.
Yeah. And we'll get her on to talk a bit more about the Brave Warrior Project. So that was Camille. And she'll be joining us from time to time. How you doing? Grayson is also here. You want to say hi? Hi, we'll get you on.
everyone.
Say hi to Grayson.
Hi.
See your face. I see your face. Oh, you got your shirt on today.
I do. I can correct.
Good job. And we'll catch up with you a bit more a little bit later. Don't forget that we have some ticket giveaways and I want you to be here when I talk about the swap meet, because you've been kind of around for I guess some of the development of the swap meet,
Absolutely.
and you can help me lay out what all the information for it, and I would appreciate it.
Yes.
So I want to thank everybody here at the Brave Warrior Project facility. They have been wonderful and very welcoming to us to allow us to broadcast our podcast here today. They are in a newish facility for them that is a little bit bigger, offering a bit more space, but space is definitely still an issue. Although this program, like we were just talking about, is exponentially growing quickly and fast, and faster than I think anybody could have anticipated that it would have, and in the best way. Great programming and quality programming for a group of people in our community that were desperately in need of these types of programming. So I want to get Erica Moshi on, and she is the founder of the Brave Warrior Project. Now, Erica, I actually saw you present about the Brave Warrior project at 1 Million Cups.
Oh, yes.
It was like not that long ago, right?
Right.
Just
A few months ago. Yeah.
Yeah, just a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
And it was you and another nonprofit were talking about how you got started and your your growth path, and then talked a bit about your challenges.
Yeah.
And I'd love, thank you so much for letting us be here, first of all.
Oh my gosh, thanks for coming. We love having guests, and it's exciting to meet new people and have people in our space. So thank you.
Sure, yeah. And you did give us a little bit of a tour before the show started, and we got to meet some of the participants in your program. How many programs are you running currently?
So we run currently our adult enrichment program, our social program, respite. We run support groups out of here. I've never actually counted how many programs. So we also run our parent-to-parent program out of here, educational. So we run anywhere from 6 to 8 programs, just depending on the need of the community.
Well, I mean, let's talk about the need of the community, because this was when you thought about starting this was like you looking at the need of your child.
Yes.
Like what could I give to my child to better enrich their life? And then it has taken on a kind of a life of its own. And now it has not only helped benefit your child, but so many other people with disabilities and chronic illness. Like that in and of itself has to, I mean, that for you has to feel like, wow, I don't even understand how this happened.
Yeah, I oftentimes kind of just think back to 2017. It's easy to get wrapped up in where we're at now and the growth, but thinking back, it's incredible. You know, we started very small with just when we started I believe there was about one program that really focused on families with children with disability, and really not many organizations focusing on pediatric cancer. And so when we got started, we had decided that, you know, talking to the community and the parents, that some sort of inclusive program for the individuals impacted by disability would be helpful. And so we started what we called Buddy Art. And then we also did fundraisers and provided financial support to those with pediatric cancer and education.
What was Buddy Art?
Buddy Art was an art program that we started, and we would find local artists to help facilitate an art project for those with disability. And we would meet whoever would let us enjoy their space and do these art projects. We met at the room at Milepost 111 in Cashmere Wellness Place when they had their facility. And we would just go and get together and create art with our friends and other children with similar disabilities or needs. And it was just a way for us to get together and access our community.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a really fun program. But that was the first year we started. And then we did some educational opportunities for parents. There's a very limited access to therapies here in our area. There's long wait lists, 1 to 2 years, sometimes 3 years. So we would bring experts from different fields in to talk to our parents when we first started. And that was kind of the need. We're really community driven. It's really important to us that we fulfill the need of the community that we're serving. And so we get a lot of parent feedback, a lot of participant feedback to really make sure that we're providing programs that are needed. And we just grow and grow and grow, and we're big, and it's exciting and fun, and just, yeah, it's just hard to even believe where we're at and doing what we're doing. So you have 2 children, right? Yes.
And do both of them have disabilities?
No. So I have an 18-year-old who just graduated high school and college. She is neurotypical, and she is doing great. And then I have a 16-year-old who is severely impacted by autism. He's nonverbal, and he is actually doing wonderful and great. Super smart guy. He communicates with an iPad with an app called Proloquo to Go. We have advocated so hard over the last 16 years to ensure that he had what he needed, and not only him, but others in our community that had similar diagnoses and other diagnoses that we found out that, you know, required a lot of the similar therapies and had similar barriers. So,
yeah. So when you decided to start programs, were you already networking and socializing with other parents who had children who were affected?
Yeah. So parents that have children with unique needs and abilities, we would meet and talk about it. You know, we have a private Facebook group that we're able to kind of chat in, and we would talk about the needs, and we would, share frustrations or limitations. It's very isolating, not so much anymore since we've started the Brave Warrior Project, but accessing our community, for myself, from my personal experience, it was very isolating. We weren't able to access it because Andrew had behaviors that were pretty significant. And so, going to the grocery store often meant that we would be there for 2 to 5 minutes and have to leave our cart and turn around because he was having a difficult day. He didn't have access to a lot of the programs my daughter did, like gymnastics or dance or swimming lessons or things like that. And so we really just worked hard to eliminate those barriers and provide those programming and work with our community to provide a more inclusive environment.
Did you know that Andrew had special needs? When did you find out? But it's probably a better question.
Yeah, no. So Andrew was pretty little. I noticed, having a child already that hit milestones pretty early on, I noticed that Andrew wasn't hitting those milestones and started questioning it before he was 1. He was
Really?
pretty
That
little.
early?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He was an infant when we started noticing his milestone. He wasn't reaching his milestones, and so we got him into therapy pretty quickly, and which I'm, in hindsight, really glad that we did, because I think it helped him, even though he still has significant delays in some areas. But yeah.
Can you tell me about this app that he uses to communicate? Because I find that really interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool. So the app he uses is called Proloquo to Go, and there are a few other apps that some of our participants access here within our community, but his is Proloquo to Go, and it's an app that you can purchase in the App Store. And I think it's around like $350, but we purchased it years ago and we get to update it for free. And so we had that one-time fee and that was it. And basically we worked with a speech therapist, and he has that app that has folders and files and words that he can use, and he puts together sentences. He's very excited about the monster trucks next week at the NCW Fairgrounds.
Yes.
And so he's been talking about that.
Well, so am I.
Right?
Duh.
So he's been talking about that and telling us how he wants to go. And today he invited his friend Tanner to go via this app. And
So
so
he
it just
kind of taps on the screen to make sentences.
Yep, exactly.
So
So
cool.
yeah, he can just tap the word and put together the sentence, and then he can tap on top and it'll say the sentence to you. So it's a very cool program.
Now, I don't know much about his condition. Is it a condition? Would you call it a condition?
I would say it's a disability.
It's a disability. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to be disrespectful
No,
in
not
any
at all.
way. So that's why I will always ask, and I don't
Thank you.
fear about looking stupid because
No.
yeah.
I love questions. There's no wrong question. I'd love to.
Is
educate
there a reason that the nonverbal comes along with the disability?
I think that is like $1 million question.
Okay.
Some individuals that have an autism diagnosis are very verbal and can communicate. I mean, that's why it's called a spectrum. And then there are some that just don't have that ability to be verbal. We've worked with speech therapists. We've done different therapies and muscle therapies with his mouth. He does have some verbal language. I always joke. It's not a joke. I really appreciate it as a mother, because sometimes you take things for granted, things that your, neurotypical developing child would say. But like he'll say, "I love you" to me. And he's always been able to say that. And, if he could say any words or just the one, like that's just
that's
always
beautiful.
like something that has meant a lot to me. He'll say dad. He doesn't say mom, but he will say dad, which is great. But he has very limited verbal. I very few words, but he is able to use that app and have his needs met. So it's exciting.
That is exciting. And I bet it's only going to get better as technology advances and research advances too. And, you inspire me, Erica, honestly, you really do, because you took this, whatever spark of an idea that you and it has grown and blossomed, and people really have gravitated towards this as a resource and a need in our community that so quickly, right? But I look at somebody like you that like you couldn't have anticipated that it was going to grow like that. But I go, like, why you? Right.
Yeah.
But because this is something that's personal to you, and you're passionate about it. But when you were way back in the beginning, could you even have imagined, like, was this in the big grand vision of what you want, where you wanted to bring this? Or was it just like, I need something. I want something to be better than where it was. And I just need to connect with other parents.
I think the thing that has made this project grow is I personally have never thought about it as like, we have this organization that is massive. I think about it as the need, right? I've never been asked this question, so it's kind of hard to put into words, but it's more about like, what can we do to help impact the child in a positive way that is coming to our center? Is that respite? Is that, helping with social skills? So I kind of think of it more as like the participants we serve and what we see they need. And I think, our team does as well. And so I think that's what makes us successful and be able to provide the quality that we want here. Our participants keep coming back. They do fundraisers for us, and that just to me tells us that we're doing a good job. So, I think we think more on like, how can we better the lives of those we're serving? Because that's what we do as a nonprofit, right? If we're not serving the need of the mission that we set out to do, then, the work we're doing isn't really aligned with our mission or vision. And so we really try to think of it from the individuals, I guess, where they're at. And I think that helps this organization grow. I never imagined that the need was as big as it is. And it's something that's not talked about often. Still to this day, it's, talking about like accessing our community, talking about the little things that really can make a difference in people's families' lives that are impacted significantly by, their child's abilities to leave the house due to behaviors, travel in a car. I mean, there's just so many things. And I think the more we talk about it and the more accepting we are as a community, I just think the better we are going to be as a community and serving the people, everyone within our community, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm just kind of rambling, but
no, it totally makes sense. And I'm letting you ramble because it makes sense. So I would stop you if you were just going in circles. Totally. But I'm trying to think of where, you're even how much bigger you can get. And I implore people and I encourage people to, come down and maybe volunteer and volunteer some time here, honestly, because even just whatever, the 10, 15 minutes that like we spent earlier walking around and hanging out and dancing, it was like, up and it was dance time. I couldn't have planned it better myself, but it happened. And but seriously, come down and spend it. I know you're always looking for volunteers. I know that is a need of yours.
Absolutely. And I always say I can get up here and talk and I can share our story, but the impact is here and seeing it for itself, because it's completely different to see it and be here and feel it than it is to have me talk about it.
And I don't really think it's volunteering. Like, to me, it wouldn't be volunteering. It'd be like, come down here and just hang out with people who live in your community. They're just a different kind of people, but it's just like going to the senior center and hanging out with that group of people. It's like, hang out with different groups of people. Get rid of the stigma and be like, I need to go volunteer at the Brave Warrior Project and feel good about myself for spending time with people with disabilities. No, just like go hang out with people. Yeah. Right. And that's it. And have fun and, spend some time and share your life with another person, no matter who they are. That's the way I would look at it. And, that's what it was for me, just 10, 15 minutes. But I think having more maybe integrated programs.
Absolutely.
It's
part of our mission and what we do within our community. We look for potential partnerships. There's an overwhelming need. We cannot serve the need. We have over 1,000 family encounters a year, and that just continues to grow. We have people driving from Okanagan, which is about 3 hours, for 2 to 3 hours of respite.
Stop it.
Oh yeah. Yes. And so, I mean, the need is like,
so when you say respite, that means caretakers dropping off their loved one that they're caretaking for just to go get a couple of hours of me time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so, I just, there's just an overwhelming need. And so we look for ways to add programs to our community to make it more inclusive. So we've partnered with Riverfront Rock Gym, and all of these partnerships and programs that we really work toward implementing within our community is based off of family feedback, those living it. Like, what would
Okay.
you like to see? What is important for you guys within our community? And that's a huge piece of what we do. So now we offer adaptive rock climbing. We do adaptive swimming instruction, one-to-one private swim instruction with Swim Angelfish. And we have an amazing swim instructor, Charlene Woodward, who does an amazing job with the children. We certified her in the Swim Angelfish method, which teaches individuals impacted by disability to swim and be water safe. We've partnered with, there's so many different partnerships. So Eastmont Parks and Recs to offer more like sports programs. We just partnered with the NCW Fair to offer some inclusive things that we haven't quite shared yet, to incorporate our participants
Up at the fair?
participating at the fair.
Very cool.
So that's going to be coming out here soon. We're just looking for any way to include our kids. There's simple things.
We're going to do karaoke. We already talked about it. We're going to do karaoke.
And they love it. And they love to be with their friends, and they love to be, and it's not, they're you and me. My son is he is a human that has the same human needs as you and I. And although he learns a little differently and he might act a little bit, differently at times, he still has the same desires and wants, and he still gets excited.
He wants to be a radio DJ.
He does. Yes. And we're contractors. So
how cool is that?
Yeah. And that's all of our participants. I'm speaking for my son, but they all get excited. And so, yeah.
Well, I loved meeting your son. I love meeting you. Very quickly, not very quickly, just tell us about Rock on the River.
Yeah.
Because that's tomorrow.
Yep.
And it's benefiting the Brave Warrior Project.
Yes.
We're going to be there. We're bringing my kid.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
It is.
Rock on the River, Columbia Valley Brewery and River House Cigar Bar are doing this Rock on the River. And they have a couple bands coming. It starts at 6 p.m. They have raffle tickets. There's going to be a dunk tank. It's going to be super fun. We feel so honored that they're doing that for us. So come down. If you drink, grab a beer. If you don't, you can grab a soda, enjoy some music, have, bid on some raffle items. It's just going to be a fun night.
Yep. I guarantee it too. Datura is a great band. That's one of the bands out there. The Nightmare is also a great band. Yeah. So I think we're going to get a good crowd, some games, some raffles, and we'll raise some money for your program, because you said it yourself. You need more space.
Yes.
More space, more stuff, more programs. Yeah. And I concur, because what you're doing is really important and really good work. So thank you for having us here today. I'm going to let you go about your day, and maybe we'll circle back with you towards the end of the program.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Thanks, Erica.
Have a good day.
You too. Wow. So don't forget about Rock on the River. It's tomorrow, starts at 6:00, both at Columbia Valley Brewing and River House Cigar Bar. They're right at the bottom of 5th, right there. And they're going to have different bands, some raffles, some games, and it's going to be a good time. I want to thank Erica Moshi for having us here, and we're broadcasting from the Brave Warrior Project facility here in Wenatchee. And in just a few minutes, we are going to get the general manager of the Wenatchee Wild Hockey team, Bliss Littler, in here with us to talk about how the Wenatchee Wild are leaving the BCHL. Now, it's actually pretty good. It's a good deal. They're heading over to the WHL, the Western Hockey League, and we're going to talk to them about what that means for the team, for the town, for the players, for the coaches. And it happened seemingly to us overnight, but I don't think that this was an overnight deal by any means. So let me not take any more time. I'm going to introduce you to Mr. Bliss Littler. Hi, Bliss. How you doing today?
I'm great.
Yeah.
I'm great. You know, things
Yeah.
are so busy right now that I was up in Calgary for our league meetings, got initiated up there, I guess. And boy, just excited to get back and get going. We have a whole bunch of work to do.
I bet you do. Well, I appreciate you taking a few minutes to sit down with us because this is pretty big news.
I think it really is. I've been in Wenatchee now for 11 years, and
a little bit longer than I have.
Yeah, I came out here. I thought I'd be here for a year, and then I'd be moving back to the Midwest. And my family, we just fell in love with the place.
Mhm.
But yes, I think it's big news. Where I can't think of any other sport that we're competing with: Portland, Seattle,
Right.
Everett, Spokane, Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver. Our geographic location is crazy how good it is.
Right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when the Wild entered into the BCHL, people were excited,
Mhm.
right? That wasn't less important or it was a lesser league, or we were excited about the
Absolutely.
BCHL. We were in the league,
Yeah.
right?
We were in a league. We didn't have to fly to our games.
Right.
It was great.
It was great.
Yeah.
Was it always the vision to get out of the BCHL and kind of move up into the WHL?
No.
Okay, so when did that come into play?
Well, I think maybe when COVID started, I went over to Spokane and I met with their general manager and their owner, and I went over to Tri-City and did the same thing. And basically, we were just kind of comparing budgets and trying to learn from each other,
Mhm.
and kind of got in my head a little bit where we're at. And but for the most part, you just thought they're not going to let a town Wenatchee size into the Western Hockey League. And really, there was nothing. That was it. I mean, that was it. I mean,
It was an ambitious pipe dream.
Yeah, and then this really happened over about 8 days. That's how quick it happened. They had an issue with it where they needed to move
I knew it was
a team.
quick. I knew it.
And like this just happened. It's 2.5 weeks fresh. Like it just happened. And do you want it?
Yeah.
They did. Then they had to vet you out and make sure the building was had the specs for it. And it happened fast. So we're playing catch up right now. First thing we had to tell Chris Clark had to call all the old players and let them know that, hey, we'll help you. We're going to find you a good home to go to, another junior team. And
well, yeah, because all the players now become free agents.
Yeah, so they're free agents, and again, that's very important that you develop those relationships, and we want to make sure that they have a home. But at the same time, it's we need to hire a head coach, we need an assistant coach, we need to hire a new trainer, a new equipment person, a person or two in the front office. We need to put a full scouting staff together. The BCHL was your recruiting league. You just recruited, you got a kid to commit to come. It's kind of like college. Here it's all based on a draft, and you draft kids that are 14 years old.
So is it a big difference in the procedure of bringing in players?
Generally in Canada, this is the player's first choice. The Canadian kid, the kids that are in this league, their path is everything to make the NHL. Okay. Now here's the commitment on the team's part. For every year the player plays for you, the team owes them a year of college. So that's a pretty big commitment.
It's a huge commitment.
Yeah. So we're paying, the team's paying for, if the player takes that path and he does not make the NHL or the American Hockey League, at that point he's got, I think it's 18 months to get in college. And at that point, the
Yeah, he
team
can't wait
always-
till he's like 55
No,
and
no,
then
you-
go back to
there's-
school.
Yeah,
But
You
he has
have
the
to-
opportunity then to go get educated and
yeah,
have a different path.
yeah. So there's a contract that, right? There's a contract that spells everything out what the kid gets, and so that's a big commitment. So the kid there is going to the NHL. Everything he can do. If it doesn't work, then he's got his college to fall back on. The other path is earn a college scholarship, and if there's pro hockey after that, it's a bonus. So they're two different paths, but in Canada, for the most part, this is the first choice
Mhm.
of the hockey player. That,
Now, is that something that they've been doing in sports and athletics for a long time, or do you think that's something that they've just started to implement? Because I feel like athletes haven't really had those options for a while. Like it was either sports or you had to figure it out. Yeah, you go to school, and if you didn't do well, then or you didn't get into professional sports, it was like you were kind of on your own. But now they're giving options like this.
yes, I couldn't tell you when the Western Hockey League implemented the education program, but it's been around 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
As long as I've been coaching, they've had some form of it. But right now, it's a really good deal. I mean,
And I know it's important to the Wild too, because I've talked to the Booster Club, and we talked to the families, and everybody is just so dedicated to the lives of the boy. I call them boys, the men, the kids that play the play, and because they're coming from all over. And they're living away from their families, and they are choosing to live in this town, and they're not 20, 30-year-old professional players. They're usually high school kids.
yeah,
Are they
they're-
going to still be in that age range?
yeah,
Or are they going to be a
16
little
to
older?
20?
Yeah.
16 to 20. Not quite as many 16-year-olds, but you're limited to 3 20-year-olds. But what you'll see players that may not be there for the first game or two. They may still be in NHL camp with the National Hockey League team, where a player in the Western Hockey League can sign an NHL contract. And if they want to send them back, instead of sending a 19-year-old back, they send them back to their junior team, and that player is eligible to play. In a college tracking league, you sign an NHL contract, you forfeit your NCAA. So those players, they come back to the league, and I think that's really exciting. I mean,
Mhm.
players potentially will have players that are playing NHL exhibition games this year that will play for the Wild.
That's so cool. It just gives a whole other level of excitement to the game. But at the same time, we have always been excited about home games.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't always been able to travel for away games. This brings a whole new experience, right? Of they're able to travel to us, close enough for us to go to away games. Like, what is this going to do? What kind of impact is it going to have on the vibe of the games?
Well, I think it'll be flat out a game changer.
Yeah.
I really do. I think the Wilds have been one thing in the Valley that, whether you're a Cougar or a Husky fan, but everybody's a Wild fan.
Yeah, everybody's a Wild fan.
Like we're pretty inclusive. Like, hey, you can be a Husky fan. That's fine. You can come. You can be a Coug fan. That's fine. That's come. Show up. But yeah, I think that what you're going to see is you're going to see people from Spokane that make the trip over to follow their team.
Mm-hmm.
Our staff did go over and watch a game in Seattle, just to show them what it was like. And when we were there, we saw jerseys from Portland, from Everett, from Vancouver, Tri-City,
Nice.
Spokane. So people, they travel. They're the hockey fans that travel. So I think it's going to have a huge impact on the vibe, just bringing fans from other teams into our building. I think you're going to see our fans will start to travel to these other places also. Yeah, I think that,
Especially for big games.
Yeah, I think that
playoffs.
you're going to see that this is going to definitely grow Wild hockey, and Like we couldn't be more excited right now.
I'm excited for you. Seattle, Everett, Spokane, Tri-Cities, Portland. They're all within driving distance. Do you anticipate any one of those in particular being our one-on-one rival?
Well, I think Tri-City's the closest. I think Tri-City's the closest, and then Spokane. But I have a feeling that just with some of the emails that we've gotten about tickets, there are a lot of Everett people that have reached out. That so I kind of think that we're, for some sneaky reason, I kind of think that Everett's gonna, they're. Yeah, they're not a new team. I believe they started early 2000s. So, So I mean, they're not. They've been here 2 decades plus. But
I did see that Coach Clarkey's coming back,
Yes.
though, head coach next year, right?
Chris will be our associate
Okay.
head coach. We'll hire a new head coach.
Okay.
We'll hire an assistant coach to go with those guys. Coach Clark has done an amazing job. Been here for 15 years.
Mhm.
He's worked his way up from the assistant coach to associate coach to head coach, and he's really done a great job as a assistant general manager. He's just so talented. I mean, if you don't like Chris Clark, it's probably you. Like
It is you. It's totally you.
Like if you don't like me, I can be a little rough at times and tell you exactly what I think, and I get it.
That's why I'll like you, Bliss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I like
That's
that.
why we're
Nikki.
going to be friends.
Yeah, but with Coach Clark, I always tell people, if you don't like Coach Clark, it's probably you.
Gotta be.
He's such
the
a good
nicest
guy.
ever.
Yeah, so we're excited to keep Chris on, and
Who else did they announce yesterday? I did see it, but
Lee Mendelson will stay on. He's been our recruiting coordinator for the last 6 years.
Okay.
So Lee's staying on. Pepe Sandville. I don't know if you know Pepe, but he's another guy that's, give you the shirt off his back. I mean, he's just a great man, and he's
everybody that is associated with the franchise is
just
nice and on the. I say almost everybody, but I won't tell you. Who.
Okay.
No, everybody's pretty nice.
Again, I'm really proud of the staff that we have, and definitely looking forward to creating the scouting staff that we have to do. And hiring.
What's that process like?
Well, Lee will oversee it, but we'll have to have 3 to 4 people in British Columbia. We'll have to have 3 to 4 in Alberta, and 2 where they're just scouts where they're looking for, they're tracking players. Same thing with Manitoba, and we'll have some that are around the United States. That we have the territory from Minnesota. If you go straight to the Gulf of Mexico, and then everything west is Western Hockey League territory.
Wow. Okay.
So you have from Manitoba all the way down through Minnesota to the Gulf west. That's the Western Hockey League territory. And then you can have 2 Europeans. Okay.
So they're getting going now, I bet. Yeah. Because it's going to be exciting just to see how all this lays out. And a lot of information for the fan base to absorb as we get into the beginning of hockey season, because it's brand new, clean slate, moving forward, ready to go.
No, we did part of buying the franchise. Is we got the 50-player protected list from Winnipeg.
Okay.
And that includes all their players. Okay. So all the players that played last year that haven't aged out, or the players that are 19 that'll be 20-year-olds that will have a chance. That there's 3 that are NHL first-round draft picks, a second-round draft pick. I think they had 11 draft picks on the team last year. So they'll have some players that'll have a chance to make the NHL this year from that team. So
have you had a chance to get a look at them?
I've had a chance to have a conversation with each of them.
Really?
Yeah. I immediately, when we got our thing, we were given the list like at 5:00 last Friday. And that was the first thing I did, was reach out to every player and introduce myself and say, hey, right now we're kind of drinking water through a fire hose. That lots coming at us right now, but we'll get this figured out and get a coach hired and staff and
Are you originally from Canada, Bliss?
Minot, North Dakota. So
Yeah,
close
so
enough to
that's what
border.
I hear. That's what
Yep.
I heard it. I was
Yeah,
like,
Minot,
I
North
did-
Dakota. So,
Yeah. All right.
and my roommates in college were Canadian, so I have some of that.
You got a little bit in there. I
Yeah.
hear it. Well, I know you have to get going. I want to be mindful of your time. So thank you for spending a little of it with me here. I appreciate it. And I hope that maybe we can get you back as the process moves forward and you have some more information. We can get an update from you.
Nikki,
That's
that
okay.
would be great.
Great.
I would really like to be able to do that a few times with you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm gonna
Okay.
give you a handshake
Yep.
and
Thank you.
let you be on your way.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. General manager of the Wenatchee Wild Hockey as they make their way out of the BCHL and into the Western Hockey League. So it's very exciting time for them. Whew, it is a big deal. I think it's going to rejuvenate the energy that is coming from the Wenatchee Wild camp.
I think adding the Wenatchee Wild to
If you're going to talk on the podcast, get in front of a microphone.
I think that adding the Wenatchee Wild to the WHL is a big deal because Washington State already has several WHL teams.
Yeah.
And it makes other states have to look at us, right? So now it's us versus Canada. There's a lot of Canadian teams that play in the WHL, right?
Right.
Oregon has one team, right? And I'm sorry, I love hockey, so we hate the Winterhawks. And I've been a Thunderbirds fan.
I never knew that
forever.
you were a hockey fan.
Yeah,
I had no
I
idea.
I love hockey. I've seen the Silvertips play the Thunderbirds and the Spokane Chiefs, and clearly I've been to Wenatchee Wild games. But to see them step up, it's a big deal because now I get to see the Thunderbirds come here and play against them, which it's gonna be awesome because it will be a new rivalry. Which is so incredible.
Oh my god!
Like there's just like things to be excited about.
Yeah.
Of how this is all going down, and it will actually force other states that are in different leagues but of the same level to see what this state is doing, because this state now doesn't just have 3; there's 4. And that's a big deal. Yeah. That's more than any other state, not just on the West Coast, but on the East Coast. So we're making kind of a statement. So this is really big news. Absolutely.
I think it is big news. I think, man, I'm trying to think about the impact that it's going to have on the local economy because I'm a
people are gonna
nerd
love it.
like that.
There are going to be actual fights on the ice.
Oh yes, there are fights on the ice.
And that's exciting too.
That's what you think about, and I think about
The penalties. Okay, so there's a lot that changes because they do allow fights, but there's longer time in the penalty box for it. So you're without every player involved. Yeah. And that could be bad.
Yeah, that can be. It's worth it though sometimes.
Sometimes it is. When you sit on the ice, though, that's where it gets to be exciting. You're there with your hot dog and your snacks, and you're just like, yeah.
I love the dynamic of this because you're like, yes, there's going to be fights on the ice. And I'm like, yes, there's going to be people in the restaurants and the bars after the game stimulating the local economy.
Well, that'll happen too. Absolutely. But it's going to bring more people. It's going to bring more people to be season ticket holders. It's going to bring more people in. It's going to force Town Toyota Center to have to open another restaurant and have more food vendors. You're going to have more bodies in the seats than you've ever had.
I think so.
Because it's completely different. The periods are longer, so it's going to be a lot longer of a game than how the Wild play. You'll have 3 periods that are long. It's almost like being at a real event, right? the league they were in was real. This is just a bigger deal because this is their foothold into getting into the NHL, right?
Yeah.
To get into a team, to get them into the NHL, if not getting them the career. So these guys are like in the fight for their life, in the prime of their life,
Yeah.
out there on the ice. So yes, there's lots of things to get excited about. Yes, and when the Wenatchee Wild win, I can see all of the restaurants and pubs and bars around being full. I actually see a lot more people wanting to watch it on TV. So there's like a whole big deal like that's about to transition for Wenatchee. That's good for Wenatchee.
I love it. Yeah, we're ready for it.
We are ready for it.
We are, for sure. Oh, man. Whoo-wee. Well, thank you for that. What time is Mary Big Bull Lewis coming in?
I mean, she said 1 to 2.
Oh, yeah,
I
we-
messaged her and said-
Oh yeah, that's right. We don't have an exact time on Mary, so
I told her to message me when she gets
Okay.
here, so.
she will message us when she gets here. In the meantime, the in-between time, I will remind you, remember last week's show, we were out broadcasting at the Blossom Creek Assisted Living Facility. And they are having their longest day event tomorrow. So the longest day is the day of the year with the most light. It's the summer solstice. And it happened this past week, was the first day of summer. It was just a couple of days ago. But they are having their longest day festivities tomorrow to bring awareness and raise some funds and fundraise for the Alzheimer's Association. So it's tomorrow at Blossom Creek from 12 till 4. That's over on Orchard Avenue. So they're going to have a bake sale, a silent auction. Oh, the cakewalk. I still don't know what the cakewalk is.
You've never been to a
cakewalk.
You don't know what a cakewalk is?
I don't know what a cakewalk is.
You stand on a number and then.
No, yeah.
Come over
Oh
here.
my
Yes.
gosh! Like,
Okay.
cakewalks are everything.
Yes, this is a big deal.
Is this like not an East Coast thing? East Coast people don't have cakewalks?
No, we don't have I don't know what a
What?
cakewalk is.
What? You're
Tell
like
me.
blowing my mind.
Yes.
Well, there's a couple, like, so basically what you do is there's numbers on the ground and you go and you stand on a number and the music starts. So it's kind of like musical chairs and you're going around and it's all good. And then all of a sudden the music stops and you're still on a number, right? You stop on a number and then they draw a number out of a hat. And then if you're on that number, you get to pick out a cake.
Really?
Yeah. And they have like all these amazing cakes that people usually donate and have made, and they're delicious. Delicious.
Wait, do you pay to be in the cakewalk?
Depending, yeah. But some of the times you like pay $1 to like go in or whatever. But sometimes it's like, yeah, I've been to events where it's been free.
This has to be a paid one because it's a
Yeah.
fundraiser.
You are paid to do the cakewalk,
Yeah, I'm sure
but
it's a
the
paid
cakes
one.
that they have are like worth it.
Yeah, I'm sure they are worth it.
There she is.
Oh, is she out there?
Yeah.
Shall I go grab her?
Yeah. She looks fantastic. Gosh. Cakewalk.
Yes.
I would totally donate money to be in a cakewalk because that
Yes, you
sounds
would.
fantastic.
Yes, you would.
We will be there. I know Trenton and I are going to stop by and play some of the games. And I want to check out this. They have a dementia simulator.
Yes.
She was talking about you go in, you put this thing on, and you
You
kind
were
of
very
simulate.
curious about
Well, I
that in
am
the
because
last,
yeah.
podcast.
Well, I've
Because,
had
like,
some
how do
people
you-
that.
How do you do that? How do you have a simulator for something like that?
How can you? I don't
Right.
get it.
Right.
But it's all the proceeds are going to benefit the Alzheimer's Association. Junk Belly will be out there playing some music, noon to 4 for the longest day celebration at Apple Blossom. I almost said Apple
You
Blossom.
almost said Apple.
Apple Blossom Creek. Yeah, it's like no Blossom Creek Assisted Living Facility off of Orchard. And tomorrow is going to be a busy day for a lot of different people. I'm going to be running around because we have the Rock on the Riverside, which is happening tomorrow night at 6 p.m. We have the longest day in the afternoon, and we also have Kashmir Founders Day, which is tomorrow as well. Lots of fun activities. There's also a car show that's going on all day over on the Kashmir side of things, and also is the salmon release parade and activities down at Riverside Park. And the Indigenous Roots and Reparation Foundation is going to be a part of that, helping to organize things and put this event on between 10 a.m. and 3:30, the salmon release parade and activities. So their executive director, Mary Big Bull Lewis, is with us today. It's nice to see you again, Mary. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. Your hair is always amazing. I just love I love a lot about you, but I need to figure out what product you use for your hair because you just get the volume.
Yeah, it's taken some time to get that figured out. But
Yeah, I just put a hat on, but
yeah, that works too.
a lot of people know you from Wenatchee Wear,
Mhm.
owner and operator of Wenatchee Air. But oh yeah, she's wearing one of your shirts today. But also you help run the Indigenous Roots and Reparation Foundation.
Yeah.
Tell us, for people who don't know what it's about, just what your mission is and what you're trying to do.
Well, the Indigenous Roots and Reparation Foundation, also known as ERF. Easy way to remember is every day is ERF Day. So we formed in 2021. We're an Indigenous-led nonprofit here in the Wenatchee Valley, and our primary goal, is to obtain land back to build a community center for all Indigenous peoples to gather.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a lot of representation from the Colville tribe, the Wenatchee tribe on our board. And our goal is to bring people back to the homelands to celebrate and be in community with each other. And we've accomplished that through our Huckleberry Camp and our Indian hemp gathering field trip. We just finished a language class, which the language is Inhamchin. It's a Salish dialect. It's the language of the Wenatchee Pequosa. And so we hosted a Zoom class, which was an 8-class 4-week session, and people could sign up so we could host it all across Washington State or whoever wanted to learn. And at the end,
is it a difficult language to learn?
Yeah.
I would guess. Yeah,
it is. It's our last fluent language speaker just passed away earlier this year. So it's really important to revitalize these languages and keep them going. No matter how little you know, just continue to speak it. So that's kind of been my personal goal, is to learn that language. I don't think I'll ever be fluent, but
it's like I've lived in Hawaii for a little bit, and trying to pick up some Hawaiian was very difficult too.
Yeah,
there's a lot of commas.
Yeah,
and vowels.
Yes, it's very unique and different from my Pekingese language, which is from my Blackfoot tribe.
Okay.
So, and just the meaning of those words are very different from the Inhamchin. So it's, again, trying to learn both of them. It's like, why not?
Are they really vary drastically, the languages?
Yeah, the Blackfoot language is very I'm trying to figure out how to say that. Like, it's very, like, we say like oki niraniku, and so it's very kind of choppy. So that means hello, my name is. And then in Hamchin, you got to use different parts of like your throat and even like the side of your mouth. So you got to get those and like, so it's all these like interesting, again, I'm still learning. So
good for you.
In Hamchin, we say til hush ishti kanchut. And so that means hello, my name is.
Yeah. No, you explained that really well. Thank you. Yeah. Because I think about, like Spanish or Portuguese and Italian, they sound a little bit the same, and a lot of the words are similar, but this doesn't seem like that's that at all.
No, they're very different. So this class was open to the community, so anybody could join. We're really grateful for the sponsorship support that we received from the Confluence Rotary here in Wenatchee, as well as the Wilderness Society, our sponsors for this event, that are kind of helping make it happen. And
so how does the salmon release parade and activities fit into ERF's mission?
Yeah, we were really excited because we're working with the Cascade Fisheries on several projects, and they reached out and asked if we wanted to have a booth there. There's a lot going on this weekend.
Mhm.
So there's going to be a handful of IRF board members at the event tomorrow to be there, because right now it's a time to celebrate salmon, and we say Intitia is salmon in Hapchin. And so we just
Intitia?
Intitia.
Intitia.
And so we just had our Pascuosa and Pascuosa salmon ceremony with our salmon chief about a month ago up in Leavenworth at the Icicle. And so salmon is a very important part of our culture, our food system. It's one of our 4 food chiefs. And so we honor salmon for giving the greatest sacrifice of their life to provide food for us. And so this salmon release is something really cool to be a part of. Fortunately, I won't be there. I'll be at another salmon ceremony.
Oh gosh,
right.
Mary.
But we're
It's
actually
just too many salmon ceremonies to choose
Right.
from.
Yeah, so we'll have let's see, I think 4 board members will be up at the event tomorrow from 10 to 3. Is that the time?
Yeah, 10 to 3:30, and it is part of Founders Day.
Mhm.
There's a lot of activities that are going on. A fish painting station, the river discovery table. They have little salmon hatchlings that they're going to actually release, and they've got a bike safety station, and then they're going to do a salmon themed story time beginning
Oh,
at
cool.
12:30, and salmon naming and parade to the river following directly after story time ends. So 12:30 is story time, and then the parade and salmon naming.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
All right. And I skipped a lot.
Oh yeah.
There was a whole list of things there that I skipped, but it seems like there's going to be a lot of activities.
Mhm.
You said the salmon ceremony that you had last month
Mhm.
with the chief up at the Icicle. What is that like? I've never been to anything like that,
Yeah.
but so I
Oh.
have no imagery in my head of what that could be like.
Yeah, so it's the day that they come and they check on the river to see how the river flow is, if it's even possible to fish. A lot of them traveled from quite a ways away. It was at 6:30 in the morning, and so they had to leave at like 3:30 a.m. to get here, and that's super early. So again,
Yeah.
the community center would be helpful to have
Yeah.
for those instances. And they sing and they say prayers. And like I said, our salmon chief is Darnell Sam, and he was there and gave a great speech and prayer. And then everybody has an opportunity. So these are all Wenatchee descendants. We gather here, and there's several ceremonies throughout, all the way up the river, for the different tribes and bands. And so, it was such a cool morning. I ended up leaving there at like 10 a.m.
Hmm.
So
And you said there's 4 different. Salmon is one of your 4.
Mhm.
What was the
Food
word?
chiefs.
Food chiefs. Thank
Yeah.
you. Food chiefs. So what are the other 3?
There are, let's see, roots, which is bitter roots. You say spatulum. There are sarvis berries, which is shiaya. And then salmon is intitia, and black bear is miiiiiiiiiight.
Mm.
Yeah.
And did they all have different of these? What is the word?
Ceremonies.
Ceremonies. Thank you. What is going on with my brain? Ceremonies that
Yeah.
go along with them.
Yeah. Miiiiiiiiight doesn't, but the other 3 do. And so the roots come out first, and that's who we celebrate first.
Okay.
And so I've been to several root ceremonies this year already, where we're digging camas roots. We're creating feasts. We're having,
Right.
Foods or traditional foods, salmon, berries, huckleberries, everything at these meals, and like a whole weekend event over in Whidbey Island with about 105 people. There's probably 8 tribes represented over there, a lot of Coast Salish tribes. And then the youth, there was probably about 35% of that group was youth.
Mm.
So from very young, like newborn, to, teens, young adults. So that's really important to have them out on the land, learning how to dig roots, how to prepare root ceremony, dig the pit, start the fire, gather everything, bundling them up in skunk cabbage. So skunk cabbage is big. And so you gather that and you
Like
put
the
that,
leaves of the skunk cabbage. Yeah.
yeah. So you gather the roots after you process them, peel them, you put them in there. And what they did was they would put madrona bark, which is a matriarchal medicine that women just prepare this traditionally. So the women were there wrapping them with twine, and then we'd have little packages that we put in the fire, and they roasted overnight, and we had a big feast.
Overnight?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So they go in the ground, and we have this fire that they
Yeah, like
started the
slow and
first day.
low.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of it reminds me, not exactly, but reflective of grandmothers and nannies and mama dons and the Italian culture passing down how to make meatballs and
Yeah.
the gravy and
Mhm.
how to plant the tomatoes for the next year's harvest and things like that. So that there is something special about that process and passing on
Mhm.
that process to the next generation. In whatever culture you're from, it is important
Right.
to keep that moving. And I know that the community center is a really important initiative for IRF.
Mhm.
Where are you on getting some money for that initiative?
We've been very fortunate in obtaining several large grants. So that's really what we're focusing on, is that in partnerships with like-minded organizations. We are in the process of hiring staff. I've founded this organization. I've been doing this even pre-IRF talk, trying to just get this going for 4 years now. I'd like to step back just a little bit and focus on my two businesses.
Yeah.
But this is very much a part of me, and I'll always be a part of that and giving my time and finding ways to make this happen. So once we can get somebody hired that can help with organization and getting campaigns and other things going, we'll be heading in the right direction.
Mm.
So that's a major
Is that
focus.
what you're working on right now, is
Mhm.
getting somebody in and hired and
Yeah.
moving that forward?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Great work.
Thanks.
Well, you let us know if you need anything or if we can help in any way, shape, or form. We feel kinship with you, and we would help in any way that we could, obviously. Thanks for coming on out, and we want to make sure everybody has the information. We'll just say it again. It's tomorrow, the Salmon Release Parade and Activities at Riverside Park, part of Kashmir Founders Day. But we are speaking with Mary Bigbolus from the Indigenous Roots and Reparation Foundation, also the owner of Our Digital Designs?
Mhm.
Our Digital Designs and Wenatchee Wear. Has two businesses and a nonprofit. She is a very busy lady. And tomorrow is the salmon release at the Kashmir Founders Day, and apparently all around it's salmon release time. Very important for the Indigenous group of people.
Mhm.
So thank you for, just giving us some more insight on that, because it's not something that I grew up knowing information on, and appreciate being enlightened in that area,
Yeah.
especially now living here, and this is being my home, and just getting more information about it makes me feel closer to the place that I now call home. So I appreciate having that connection to you. So thank you.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, and we'll get you back always. So enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thanks. You too.
Yeah, absolutely. Mary Bigbolus from Wenatchee Wear,
thank
Indigenous Roots and Reparation Foundation, and Our Digital Designs. Make sure you check them all out, because Our Digital Designs is graphic design. Wenatchee Wear does the clothing print, the screen print, the hats, all the merchandising, and then Indigenous Roots and Reparation Foundation is helping to keep and restore Indigenous land, give land back to the original keepers of this country in this area, in the Pasquosa land. So we thank Mary for coming on and spending some time with us once again. Woo! I need to get a drink.
It's a lot. It's a mouthful.
I know. All right. Wowie. Oh, see, did I get any? Nope. Just making sure we didn't have any thing that I missed. All right. Pangborn Festival of Light. We have anybody else coming in? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, that was it.
That was it. So we get to just, hang out, have fun. I want to talk about if anybody is out there, if you're watching, I didn't even give out the number. We do have an interactive text line, 509-795-5602. You can text when it comes to us. The easier way to get a hold of us is through wherever you are at, through the comment line, the comment section. It comes to us and we can put it up on the screen and we can interact with you. Just like this person. How do you feel about the Wenatchee getting a WHL team? We did talk about that, so that was fun. You're so excited. I can't hide it.
And I think he was spot on. The tips are going to be our probably.
Yeah, I think so. Tri-Cities. We appreciate any support. We are fully community supported media. We believe in the First Amendment and freedom of speech. So we don't we don't censor anybody. That we believe in not being censored ourselves. So that's why we went fully community supported. So we do appreciate all of you who subscribe to our tiered subscription service. It's like $60 a year. That's it. That's the lowest tier, $5 a month, something like that. So WUW, which stands for What's Up Wenatchee.supercast.com. And we do give exclusive content from time to time. We give you ways to win tickets. Whenever we have some free stuff, I just go down the line and throw free stuff at people. But it does benefit you to be part of that Supercast community. And speaking of giveaways, I do have a giveaway. I need to talk to somebody. Somebody needs to be sitting one of you, both of you. I don't care. Somebody sit in the seat.
Oh, in the hot seat.
All right. So I'll talk to, we have a couple of different things that I need to talk. We're going to talk about,
so much better.
The Pangborn Festival flights. We're going to talk about the Washington State Swap Meet.
Yes.
And Ladies Night Comedy. That's what we have left.
Three awesome things to talk about.
I know.
Let's get to it.
Right. You tell me, what do you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about Pangborn
Festival flights.
Amazing thing that's about to happen. I'm super excited actually about this. Let's do it.
It is Pangborn Festival flights. It is really, it's one day. It's Saturday, July 8th. But the night before, July 7th, is the big band dinner, dance, and auction.
There you go.
So if you don't know about this, the Pangborn's Festival flights is a full day festival up at the airport, and they put it out on the tarmac, right outside. It's July. It's right after the weekend after the 4th of July. It's gonna be nice weather, and they take the entire tarmac and they fly in like 100 vintage airplanes.
If you've ever been to like the Museum of Flight when they do something like this is what it is for Wenatchee. It's gonna be awesome.
Do you know why they do this?
There is a reason behind it, but I don't know the details.
Okay. You don't know the details.
I don't know the
All
details.
Right. This is great. So, do you know Miss Vidal?
Yes.
Okay, Miss Vidal, the airplane.
Yes. Very big deal.
Very big deal. Do you know why?
That's the detail. That
okay. All right.
I like that you brought up the detail because I'm like, nope, don't know that detail.
All right. So Miss Vidal is a very important airplane because she was the first transatlantic flight So first nonstop airplane to fly over the Atlantic from from the other side.
Correct.
And where she landed was
Here.
at Wenatchee at
Yeah.
Pangbourne.
That part I know. I didn't
It
know
wasn't
it was
called-
a transatlantic flight, though.
Yeah. It wasn't called Pangbourne Airport at the time, but Pangbourne was the last name of one of the pilots. So that's who they named the airport after, was one of the pilots who landed Miss Vidal up in East Wenatchee. Now, the great story about this, there is a wonderful documentary that was done by Charlie Voorhees of Vortex Productions, who we've had on this podcast
Yes, we have.
before. And he was commissioned to do a documentary about Miss Vidal. And it's about 20 minutes long. He did a fantastic job. And he got to go, that little jerk got to go to Japan because that's where Miss Vidal took off from. She took off from Misawa, Japan. Now you could go and you can watch the whole documentary, or I'll just tell you the story, but the documentary is actually really well done. So the two pilots that were flying Miss Vidal were professional pilots that were in another flight aviation contest trying to fly around the world. And they broke down in Misawa, Japan. So obviously they were out of that competition. When they were in Misawa, they were stuck there. They needed to do repairs. So the people in Misawa, Japan were super accommodating, helped them fix the plane, lived with these two pilots, one of them being Pangbourne, for however long he was there. They loved this plane. They actually helped build a runway down a hill so that it could get some momentum to fly off. And they now every year have a celebration on the day that Miss Vidal took off.
That's typical of Japan. Yeah, they do stuff like that.
And they call it American Day.
I believe that too.
And they wear red, white, and blue, and they celebrate Miss Vidal, and they eat hot dogs and hamburgers and listen to country music. It's hilarious. And I love it. And then, but so Misawa, Japan is our sister city. You see it all around, but I don't think people even know what that means or even care about that. They're like, what does that even mean? Okay, we send people over there. We bring people over here. If you go to Misawa, Japan, it's like Wenatchee Miss Vidal threw up. It's huge. Miss Vidal is everywhere. She's in the mall. She's on signs. There's statues of the plane, and they're on billboards. And she's the entire town of Misawa, Japan is centered around Miss Vidal.
It's the biggest thing that ever happened.
It's
there.
the
It's huge.
biggest thing ever. East Wenatchee, East Wenatchee. Yeah, we like our Miss Vidal for sure. We love her. But I wouldn't say she's we don't have stores of Miss Vidal swag, right?
No.
We're not giving our kids they're not Cars characters, right? They're not Mickey Mouse. That's what it's like to them.
Right.
So we have the Pangbourne Festival of Flights to celebrate the day that Miss Vidal landed in East Wenatchee. They have it on the day she took off. We have it on the day she lands. And it's called the Pangbourne Festival of Flights. And we try to incorporate the Japanese culture and Misawa, Japan, and bridging the gap between Misawa and Wenatchee, East Wenatchee, in the vibe of the event.
Yes.
Right? It's not as easy as barbecuing hamburgers and hot dogs. That's probably not as easy for them, though. You probably can't really get hamburgers and hot dogs in Japan, can you?
I'm sure you could, and I'm sure there's places that have them. I mean, they have McDonald's.
They do have McDonald's. Maybe they just order a lot of McDonald's with milkshake. Oh, I'm so hungry right now. I'm so starving.
No, they don't. They have a couple of the staples, but it's all different, and it's like that with any McDonald's. I know we're getting off track.
Yeah, I
but,
know. I don't
but
care
no,
if we
you
get off
can
track.
you can get a cheeseburger or hamburger
Yeah.
in
Okay.
Japan. at
You know, you
McDonald's.
can. Yeah.
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 'Cause
There's
those are
so many other
staples.
things on their menu.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So, we are trying to, or I would say we, because I am now part of the planning committee for the Festival of Flights, which I'm very excited about. I'm
super excited.
I know
about
I'm
it.
excited that they want me to be a part of this like planning committee and be their DJ, and they were happy about the classy chassis, so I get to be help them with this event as well. And when they told me all about this, they're like, a vintage planes coming in. There's a movie that's coming out that has vintage planes, and the vintage planes from this movie are going to be
Yes.
at the Festival of Flights.
Yes.
Like, it's like called Defiant or something like that. And it's like this major film movie that's coming out, and they're going to have these vintage planes at the Festival of Flights.
Yep.
And so they asked me, they were like, what do you think we could do to bring in and tie together this Japanese Misawa Japan with bridging this gap with Wenatchee and Miss Vidal?
Sushi hamburgers.
Sushi hamburgers.
It sounds good to me.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, you would have to have like a
sushi
sushi roll with like cut up
hamburger.
hamburger and the rice.
Hamburger
With
sushi.
like, yeah.
Yeah, not sushi. There's two different things.
No, you could
There.
do both.
But sushi,
You could do
hamburger, and
both.
hamburger sushi.
You could do both.
Two different
Oh
do both.
my gosh.
You could.
Okay,
It
wait.
could be good.
So a fish burger.
Yeah.
Wait.
A raw fish burger.
Raw fish burger.
Yeah.
And then
Sushi
burger as
or
sushi.
Yep. And you have to have
sushi
wasabi on it
hamburger.
instead of mayonnaise. Yeah. Oh, that just sounds so good. I could make that, and I bet you guys would like it.
Hamburger sushi or sushi ham. You would not have to have a sushi hamburger. Is that what you agreed on?
No, I mean, we said you could have both.
You could
Okay,
do
gotta
it
think
both.
A sushi hamburger would be like a raw fish
Yep.
burger.
Yeah.
And then you could have burger sushi, which would be like sushi with burger.
Yeah, you'd cut up the burger. It wouldn't be like, how you would normally eat
Cooked
it.
burger
It would be
in
cooked.
sushi style.
Yeah.
With like
Yeah.
sausage.
Yeah.
and oh,
They
that's
do it with
better.
tempura. It would basically be a tempura
Yeah, I'm with you.
burger
Yeah.
and a sushi roll,
Or you
right?
could do like a raw fish burger with
Yes.
like however
And
Yeah,
either
raw
one
fish
would be
burger.
delicious. This is what happens when people are hungry.
I know we really do need to like order pizza for the show or something. It's okay. We're gonna get lunch. We're gonna get lunch.
But
Hamburger sushi or sushi hamburger.
That would
How did
be-
we even
that would
get on
be-
this?
that'd be all right.
Oh, it was you.
Yeah.
We're
A way
trying to.
bridge the gap.
You asked me how we could bridge the gap and celebrate this and bring these two cultures together, and I'm like, this is yeah.
All right. Well, after the show's done, I'm gonna give a call over to the city of East Wenatchee and tell them that we should have hamburger sushi.
Yeah.
The high-end food truck could totally do this with help.
Totally
I'm
could.
just saying this is a possibility
All right,
of a
well-
realistic thing. And I would order it, and I would help him. I'd be like, I would be the tester. I would. I'd be like, I'll test it. And I'll tell you everyone would like it. But it has to have wasabi on it. Oh man, it would be so good.
I'm gonna.
You could do an
text her right now.
ahi raw tuna on a burger with cheese and wasabi.
No, but we need to have the burger sushi though. Like
You could do that too.
of that
But you
as
could do
a
that too. I'm just saying
little
these.
Burger. I like the burger.
I have my sushi roller. I could go home and try it. Go get some. I mean, there's so many possibilities.
You have a-
Okay,
Okay.
Question of the hour: pickle or no pickle on a burger?
You could do the pickle, but I'm sure people would want it without.
Yeah.
And it would have to be a dill. It couldn't be a sweet.
No sweet pickles.
Always a dill.
And you could do a dill on the side.
Do you actually want to hear what my idea was?
Yes,
or are you
I
just
would
going to
love
keep
to-
talking about
go
hamburger
ahead.
sushis or sushi hamburgers?
What's your idea? How do we
It-
bridge the gap?
It seems
Nikki?
very anticlimactic now.
No, it doesn't. I want to hear it.
But I reached out to my good friend Meg Kepler, who is now the head of the NCW Arts Alliance.
Okay.
Yeah, who is got her eyes and ears and all of that out to all the different types of artists in our community. And I asked her if there would be somebody who would be interested in doing like a canvas or a sculpture or some kind of art commission live on site up at the airport while the event was going on, that would represent this idea of the plane leaving Japan, whatever that represents, bridging or a bridge or a gap or ocean or something. They could come up with a concept and then ending up in East Wenatchee, and then that kind of being an art project for the day. And they love it. So we don't have all the details yet, but I think we have a couple of leads of some local artists who are going to do a live commission on site, maybe like a big canvas or something. And then once that's done, we'll take the finished product, we'll frame it, and then we're going to auction it off for one of the Spirit of Wenatchee aviation scholarships.
Which is totally awesome.
Right?
That's not anticlimactic at all. That's actually
Well,
really
it certainly isn't sushi hamburger.
cool. Well, no, but it's arts and it's giving back and it's creating a scholarship for somebody. So that's actually more important than that, I feel, anyway.
And the scholarship is why they put together this Friday night big band dinner dance auction. So there are tickets on sale. You can go to eastwenatchee.gov, look for the big band dinner and dance. Then just buying a ticket supports it. You're going to get food from Ring a Bell, which is yum, 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 good food. Obviously, dinner and music and dancing from Wenatchee Big Band, and a silent auction. And all that money goes towards that aviation scholarship also, which is pretty cool. And that's going to be Friday night up in the hangar up on the airport. So, and they're going to have a couple of vintage planes up there that you could go and take pictures with. And so that looks like it's going to be a fun time. I have a pair of tickets that I have to give away to that dinner dance big band extravaganza. So this week, over on darlingproductionswa.com, I will have a form to fill out, just a simple entry form, nothing special, no purchase necessary. I don't know. You don't need to do it. It's just going to be like name, email, submit. That's
Basically,
it.
if you want this and you want this.
Yeah, no, you do. It's a good time.
Just submit this form. Just sign up, submit this form.
Yeah, just get to the website. It's basically just get to the website, and if you want more information on the actual event, it's going to be there for you too, or any other events that we are putting on, which we have a few.
Yeah, are you going to be putting on the event for the Festival of Flights?
I am. What do you mean? Which one? The dinner and dance and the
No.
Oh.
Are you gonna MC or what?
Oh yeah, I'll be emceeing. I'll be emceeing. I'll be on the mic for Festival of Flights that day.
Yay. See, so it's gonna be fun.
Me and the street team.
Yep.
You guys will be
Yes.
there too.
Yes,
All
it'll
right.
be a really good time.
I'm kicking you off now.
Okay, thank you.
Bye bye. And how are you? I love this.
Right? Like I get emotional about people.
I do. I know. What I really would like is if both of you if I had a camera and microphone and all of that set up for both of you, and maybe even multiple people. I'd like to have 1, 2, 3, if not 4. It'd be great to have 4.
And where are you all at? Why aren't you not coming down to Brave Warrior and just like coming out to hang out with us?
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I can, but then there's feedback. So I can't, like, you could take that and be like out in another room and I can get you in. I can't have you in the same room doing it in the same room. With headphones, you can. Yeah. Yeah, headphones.
Roger that.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Things for the future.
guess what? We're getting better all the time.
Yes.
Headphones next week. They just arrived.
They just arrived. So I will have that entry form for the dinner dance. It's a pair of
Yes.
tickets, July 7th, up
Good
at the
time.
hangar for
Who doesn't
dinner
want
dance.
free dinner and entertainment?
I mean, some people.
I mean, I guess
It's
some
a
people
silent
don't like to
option.
go out, and you can be introverted. There's no judgment there.
There is no judgment. So if this
No.
is not
There's
your
a-
jam,
Yeah, no, that's okay.
you don't have to do it.
But if it is your jam,
Go for it.
yeah.
And
Sign up.
darlingproductionswa.com. I have the website down there for you. There's a few things on there. We updated. We did some updating on the website this week. One is the Messy Moms podcast is presenting the Ladies Night Comedy.
Yes.
Have you ever done stand-up comedy?
So, are you familiar with Laughs Seattle? So they used to be
No.
in Totem Lake area, and they have an open mic night, and you have to have 6 people in the audience is like their only caveat. So then at least if you're bombing, 6 people that will be laughing with you,
Right.
hopefully. So that was a goal of mine, but no, I've never, I would love to be able to do it someday, just once to be like, check bucket list,
Yeah, me too.
right?
I write a lot of stand-up comedy in my head,
Yeah,
like legit skits.
yeah.
And they're most of the time right before I fall asleep in bed.
Yes.
I do a lot of
Oh,
thinking,
yeah, it's the best
and
time to
writing.
think, honestly.
and I really need.
Middle of the night, right before bed.
I know I really need to be able to write them down or something. Sometimes I do. I keep a little notes thing in my
Yes.
phone, and I will type it out. And the next day just never seems as funny.
Hey,
Hey, he laughed at that.
See, he did laugh at that.
Yeah.
See, there you go. That is the joke right there.
That right there would be great material. I mean,
Me being
last night, but they're not funny.
And they're not funny.
Like, why aren't they funny today?
Yeah. See,
Great punchline.
It's a
Me
great
not being
punchline.
funny is hilarious. Yeah.
absolutely,
Hey,
absolutely.
you gotta get him where he fits.
See, me, it's more like after the moment of the fact. Like, I just made a room of people laugh their asses off. And now I'm like, wait a second, what did I just say?
How did I do that?
How did
Yeah.
I do that? What did I just say and do? And then I'm like, I should have written that down, or how did I, but like, how do you do that process? But then you think, okay, so now you have a whole thing in mind. You have all these jokes, and you get up, and maybe your whole audience is not what you imagined. Maybe they're full of people that you thought were not going to be a demographic of that type of people.
Yep.
And now you're like, these jokes are not going to work. So then what do you do? So I think impromptu is like just the way to do it. It would be
Yeah.
my route of comedy, just getting up there and just doing it.
Self-deprecation.
Yes.
That would be my
Always.
go-to
Yep.
comedy.
100%. 100%. And
You have to have a certain amount of self-reflection, right?
Yeah.
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 Like I have to be able to go up there and be like, yeah, I know that you have no idea whether I'm a man or a woman, but it's okay. We're going to figure it out together.
I had to figure it out myself. Like,
Right.
we all have to figure that out.
Don't look at the name because that's not going to help you.
Nope.
Nikki can go either way.
It totally
It
can.
can go.
I've met both. I met a male Ashley. Went on a date with a man named Ashley.
I've
one
met a
time.
male Shannon.
Yeah.
It's
See?
a Irish thing.
Yeah.
Male Shannons. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It happens.
It just could be, anybody could be anything these days.
You know what? That's so true. And these days or any other day, it's just now we have the more like ability and resources, I feel like, to do what we want to be able to
Mhm.
do.
Well, I wonder if Miss April is going to pop on. I did give her the link so she could, but
Oh.
who knows if she will
Hasn't
or
popped
not.
on yet.
But she is. This will be her first time doing
Comedy.
stand up.
Yeah.
So
Come on,
oof,
April.
yeah.
Pop on in there.
Right? I know you called her out earlier. I'm like, is she gonna show?
Yeah, she might just be doing it out of spite too.
You just never know.
You never know with April. She might not even show up to the comedy show. Who knows? she's the wildfire, like what
Hey.
firecracker.
Firecrackers are good.
But
You need firecrackers.
this will be her first, and there is a chance that if you buy a ticket,
Yeah.
we ask you if you are willing to do a 3 to 5 minute stand-up open mic
What?
comedy. So we are, it's a Darling Productions event, right? So
Right.
don't expect the average, don't expect the norm.
Yeah.
Be ready for anything.
I mean, it'd be like an open mic night
If
practically
we-
at that point.
so we're
Registered open.
ask, yes, yeah. We also don't want to put anybody on blast, or
Yeah.
we are always respectful, but in the most spontaneous way.
Which is a weird thing. Like, I've totally been put on blast at an open mic night when like bands are playing and they're like, is there any singers in the room? And my friend was like, this girl right here. And then I had to get up and sing with a live band. And it was the most terrifying thing.
Whoa. Guess who just
So-
popped on?
April.
April.
OMG-pers.
Yes.
Holy cow. Are you actually there? And what? Look at, it's like actually 1:45. I can't hear you.
How come you can't hear me?
Turn on your volume.
Volume, girl, volume.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Are you
What was
there?
that, Lisa?
Yeah.
Check your battery.
Can you hear me now?
Is that line?
I can hear you now.
Beautiful. That's what I like to hear.
Are you the guy from T-Mobile
No?
or Verizon? Was that Verizon?
Yeah.
Oh, is it Verizon?
I think so.
No, it's from Sister Act.
What?
That
Huh?
line. It's Whoopi Goldberg says it to the gal who has the hearing aid who's playing the piano.
Oh, yeah. You can't hear Grayson right
I
now.
know, but
I don't think he can hear you either. So this will be so fun.
I will hear her in just 2 seconds.
Oh, how are you, April?
Good. How are
There
you?
she is, walking around.
Good. We were just talking about the ladies' night comedy.
Oh my gosh. It's going to be so fun. Can't wait.
Really? You think you're going to show up?
Probably. I think that my picture was on there, so it makes me feel kind of famous. So yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I never know if you're going to show up to things or not. So I'm taking a chance that you're going to be there.
You should take that chance. And I think that's part of like, I can't see very well, like VIP status. Just, am I going to show up? Probably not. But I will show up to the comedy show for sure.
Have you tried to figure out what you're going to wear yet to the comedy show?
I look good in everything, so no.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to wear this because I wear pretty much the same thing every day and I don't ever really dress up.
Did you pick a?
That means you should dress.
Look,
I know.
I have a special hat.
Is that the hat that you're gonna wear at the show, or are you gonna pick a different?
No, I'll probably pick a special, special comedy hat. I don't know.
What
is
does
it?
that look like?
I don't know.
Is it one that
Does it have a squirtable flower on it?
Yes.
Hand clap?
Yep. Yeah, it's gonna have a little thing that when I squeeze my hand, the hands clap on the top.
Yes.
Like this.
Yes.
Yeah, so that will spur the audience to
Yes, see,
applause.
now this is when you clap.
Yeah,
That can
this
be a
is-
joke in itself.
So this is when you clap.
I want an sign. I feel like
You what?
I want an applause sign. I feel like I need it and I deserve it, and they have it at live TV. So, live comedy.
I just told people that when they buy a ticket, they also have the option of letting us know if they would do a 3 to 5 minute open mic comedy.
Can't wait.
And we're going to come up with some other fun ideas too throughout the night.
Oh, I
Can
think
we
it's
throw
gonna,
cake at her?
A what?
Just joking.
Oh, maybe we'll do a cakewalk now that I've learned what a cakewalk is.
Yeah, let's do a cakewalk.
do
How
you
about a
have?
pie walk?
Yeah,
Okay,
'cause
you
that's
have to
funny.
have a gambling.
They can just all be cream pies.
Oh,
We just won't tell anybody.
she said we have to have a gambling permit or something like that.
Oh, to be able to do a cakewalk?
Yeah.
What if we're throwing them at the comedians though?
Oh,
Like we do a pie walk, but really whoever gets the pie gets to throw it at the comedian they like the best. Yeah.
like a fundraiser.
Yeah.
What if we did it as
Dang
a
tongue,
as a
Oh,
fundraiser?
messy moms.
for
Oh my
we'll pick an organization to
Right? You can,
Yeah.
like put money towards whoever gets the most money is the one who gets the pie in the face.
Yeah.
or-
Yeah, what do you think about that, April?
How do you feel about getting a pie in the face, April?
I don't think I would be the one that they would pick.
I would totally.
And now all my money on April.
I just don't.
Yeah, good talk.
Yeah. I mean, like if I had to pick, like I would pick Michael for sure. So I don't.
way.
And I don't know. Lane looks like she needs a pie in the face. So
You can tell her Grayson said I would definitely.
No
pie
way.
April.
Yeah, you would pick what, Michael?
I would definitely pie April.
Oh, he would
Oh,
definitely
you're
pie
cutting out.
you. Yeah. He would pie you. You can't pie Lane. Lane looks too nice. Lane looks
I
too
can't hear
nice. You
anything
cannot
that you're
pie her.
saying, but I did want to
I
show
don't care.
you.
She says I can't hear a word you're saying. I don't care. I will talk right over you. So Lane looks too nice. Michael is too nice. You just can't do that to Michael. It's like
April
I
could
can't do that
accept
to
it.
but
Michael.
people love to like hate April. It's like we love to hate you and hate to love you.
No.
So it's like
Right.
in that like little slice of hating to love,
a
here you
large
go.
slice.
And a large slice of loving to hate. Here's the pie.
Just you wait. So I've known Michael for like 16 years, and she has everything in common with my sister. They're the exact same age. They have the same birthday. They have the first same children in the same order, the same years apart. They're both on their second husbands. Their second husbands both have the same birthdays. They're both the same height. They both have the same weird second toe. It's just creepy. But anyway, I love Michael because she's just like my sister.
I love Michael because she's
That's
just
the same
like
April.
herself. She's just amazing like herself. And I love her for being her, not like anybody else.
But
How do you
also
feel
like
about that?
my sister. A lot like my
All right. I don't know your sister, but
like my
are you afraid of doing stand-up comedy for the first time?
am I?
Yeah.
No.
That's a lie.
I don't think it's a lie.
You're not at least a little nervous.
Like maybe a little bit, but not too bad.
Have you started writing your material?
A little bit of it, yeah. So I kind of write jokes all the time. And so I just kind of have written them down and I try them, and it's all about delivery. So I guess it just depends on what kind of mood I'm in and what jokes we're gonna tell.
Do you think that you and I should do a little bit together since we are the Messy Moms and it's the Messy Moms podcast presents? So
I
we
feel
should do a little bit about the Messy Moms
Yes.
podcast.
I think yes, 100%. I can't wait to start the Messy Moms podcast.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I have to go up to a meeting first though for that.
You do have to show up to a meeting, but
Mhm.
this is like a pretty good start because this little banter back and forth is what people can expect between me and you on what it would be like for our Messy Moms podcast. And we're going to try and get it a little more focused on like messy mom stuff.
There's so much.
Every now and then though, I go, this was a total messy mom moment. Like I had a messy mom moment the other day where it was like every time I tried to put my kid's diaper on, it was like it was going on backwards, and then his pants were on backwards, and then his like socks were on backwards. It was like every pair of clothing that I put on my kid was on backwards, and I couldn't get anything right. He was like running around the backyard with like everything on backwards, and Ryan was like, "What is going on? Is it backward or like backwards day?" I'm like, "Yep." Told him about it. It's like backwards day. That was my messy mom's moment. What?
I would have just told Ryan he joined Crisscross.
Jump.
Yes. Okay, you understand.
Yeah, makes me want to jump.
Yeah, they wear their clothes backwards.
Right.
It
On
was kind of-
purpose.
He's just
Yeah.
mad he didn't like get
Well,
with the
it'd be
fashion
cool.
statement sooner.
Right.
Yeah.
He was mad he didn't get with the fashion statement sooner. But I do that all the time now. I'm like, oh man, that was a messy mom moment. So I've been hashtagging my own life with hashtag messy mom.
Ooh, that is my whole life.
Mhm. Yep.
So like our sandbox is right by our like the sliding glass door, and he keeps taking like shovels full of sand, and then he'll like slowly walk towards the door. And then when I look at him and I'm like, come back here, he runs in the house as fast as he can, and he'll go until I'm just about to catch him, at which point he just like drops the
Dumps the sand.
yeah, and then like looks at me in his little like toddler moment, like, oh, and then you can't, and he'll do this like 3 or 4 times, but also he's afraid of the vacuum. So you can't win. Like if you
No, does he look at you and laugh?
when he's putting the sand in there, yes, he's my
Yeah.
child. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what my son does too. He looks at me when he knows he's doing something wrong, and he just like looks and he stares straight in my eyes. He goes, I'm like, you little
Mm-hmm.
like you know that you're doing something wrong and you're laughing about it. Oh, so me.
A bus.
Yeah. All right.
like-
Well, we're gonna wrap up this podcast here. We only got a few more minutes left, but you are thoroughly hilarious. I think you already know that. Tickets are on sale for the Messy Moms podcast presents Ladies Night Comedy. You are going to be there as one of our comedians.
For sure.
We also have Michael Lee Miller and Lane Henkel. And the rest is a surprise. I don't know.
We need a soundboard.
Yeah.
Heikel.
Heikel?
Heikel.
Heikel.
Yeah.
Okay. I know I spelled it wrong, and like this is messy mom moment. I spelled it wrong in like 3 different places. I spell it differently. I say it differently. I'm like, I don't care. I talk for a living, and I'm not going to say it right. See, these are messy mom moments that I have no shame about. I'm like, I'm making it happen. I'm doing the best I can. Totally correct me. Heikel.
Heikel.
See? Heikel. Heikel. All right.
Oh,
It's like Hyman, but it's Heikel.
Heikel.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
when was the last time you have heard anyone use the word hymen?
Well, Nikki just did.
I just did. So
I have to go now.
bye, April. I love you. All right. Tickets are at darlingproductionswa.com. Look for the book online tab and you'll see all of you'll see the tickets there. They're $25 a pop. Or you can do a sponsor table and you'll get a front row table of 10 and 10 drink tickets and front row seats. And that's where you want to be at a comedy show. So
Yeah.
check it out now, darlingproductionswa.com. And so really the only thing left to talk about, guys, is the Washington State swap meet. Thank you for chiming in with me on that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the cat's out of the bag. The
Yeah.
Washington State swap meet.
It's gonna be huge.
It is going to be. It's a big deal,
Holy
and
moly.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm actually really glad that the cat's out of the bag on this because I have been really holding it close to the vest for a really long time, and I've been working really hard on this, and so this was an idea that Ryan and I had come up with, and a swap meet, right? Swap meet, flea market,
Yes.
barter fair type.
Yes.
But like this one's on steroids.
Yeah.
Right. This
It's
is
like people come from all
From
over.
all over. yeah.
Yes.
From all over the state. I mean, it's the Washington state, so it's really meant to bring in tourism, bring people into our
Yes.
beautiful area.
Absolutely.
Try and get them to engage with Wenatchee, East Wenatchee, and Chelan Douglas counties, and just this beautiful arena here that we
Yeah.
have to play in, that people really know, like, should want to spend time here.
Absolutely. I mean, we're in pretty much the middle of the state.
Mhm.
Like, we're the center. We should be
not far from Spokane.
No,
not far from Seattle.
I mean, if you think we're like the center of everything, as far as if you're going to go from one side of the state to the other, you're more than likely going to cross by close by to us in some way or another. Especially depending on that time of year, if the North Cascade is closed or things like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So the plan is to try and get the word out even in like Idaho and Oregon and California and Montana, and because we love swap meeting, we love antiquing,
Yes.
we love flea marketing.
Yes, even a good yard sale.
Are you kidding? When I
Love
want
yard
when Ryan wants to sleep in on the weekends, I get Trenton up and we go around to yard sales. Like, that's what we do.
Heck yes.
So this is like in my blood. This is on our blood.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be over at the Eastmont Fourplex in East Wenatchee, which is a good sized property.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Lot of
really
space.
nice. And they have been a wonderful community partner in setting this up and getting the space and the facility and everything on the up and up, right?
Yeah.
So this is, people have been asking me a lot of questions, so many questions. If you do have any questions, you can go, there's a website, go to WashingtonStateSwapMeet.com. Very easy. It'll have all the like vendor registration.
Yes.
If you want to be a volunteer, if you want, we need food trucks.
Make some money, people.
But also a big thing that's close to my heart about this is that we're really leaning into the idea that it's about upcycling, recycling, good for the environment. You know, people are swapping instead of landfilling.
Absolutely.
They're upcycling instead of throwing things away. They're
Yes.
refurbishing and making things new again. So we're going to have a large area for nonprofits, organizations, agencies that are doing work in the ecology and environmental arenas to be able to come out and give out resources or play games or do crafts.
It's amazing.
Right? Like, how awesome.
Right? Good
Show us how to
outreach.
upcycle something.
Well,
you know?
exactly. I mean, there's so many things you can do. You don't have to throw it away. You can reuse it, or if you can't, somebody else could.
Right.
You know, and it's crazy to me how much free stuff is posted online, and you see it posted forever, and you're just like, nobody's gonna go pick it up for free. Like free, whatever you need. Like it's out there.
I know.
And you probably have it in your house. You're just already not using it. You could be using it for something else.
Right.
Swap meet.
Like a swap.
That's the purpose of this swap meet.
Absolutely.
I think, and
need
like,
it. Do you need it?
COVID changed everything. Like the pandemic
Yeah.
changed everything because people were at home. They started cleaning out their houses. They started refurbishing and upcycling
doing a lot of
things
stuff
and
themselves.
doing a lot of stuff themselves
Yeah.
and then like reselling it.
Yes.
Right. So we welcome people that are artisans, crafters, resellers, upcyclers.
Absolutely.
Like we want those people out there. And I'm thinking I'm going to do a whole section of the Fourplex for like one of those vendory crafter kind of market
Yes.
areas, because those people all know each other. They've been around, like, yeah, they run the market. Like they run the circle with each other all the
Right.
time. And like the barter fairy
Yes.
type of people. And so we invite everybody from the regular yard sailor to the antiquer, to the collector, to the people who have all those car parts,
Buddy.
to old radios, to
Right.
vinyl collectors,
That
to
farmer who has his old equipment
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, yeah.
yeah, this is the place. Like bring it out, and then or if you're making stuff and refurbishing things or
Yes.
homemaking things, DIYing projects, bring them out too. Like we just kind of want it to
Yeah.
be the tagline is where the community swaps. So there
Love
you
it.
go. Let's the registration is open. We are looking for other community partners and partnerships for people who and businesses, organizations that want to get
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah, and if you know
Great thing to be
anyone, tell
involved.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the word out.
Yeah, get the word out.
That's how swap meets work. is
Yes,
word of
it
mouth.
It's
is.
total word of mouth.
It really is.
And it's going to be September 8th, 9th, and 10th.
September
So
8th, 9th. and
We're like 75 days away
right? It's coming up.
It's right around the
You
corner,
have
guys.
plenty of time to get all that stuff together.
All summer.
all
You
the
have
summer
all
long.
summer.
Like, you wanna
yourself
clean
might
up.
wanna be a vendor. You might have
Yeah.
something that you're like, man, I could totally barter or sell.
Yes.
Yeah.
There will be somebody there that will want it.
Yeah, you can,
For
and
sure.
we don't care. Like, there, all these questions are answered on WashingtonStateSwapMeet.com. But
Check it out.
so check it out. But you can swap, but you can sell. You can barter or you can give away. Like, it's what you rent a vendor spot, but what you do in that spot is up to you.
Nice.
We have different sizes. You can do a 10 by 10, a 10 by 20, or a 20 by 20. We're building out a kids zone area.
Sweet.
Yeah, so some kids activities, kids playthings. We should talk to we should bring
Right?
some of this stuff out here from the Brave Warrior Project. That would be
Yeah.
great. A food truck alley, and so really just trying to make it as inviting as possible for
Yeah, get the
travelers,
family down, and
yeah,
anybody
families.
coming through, and
Try and build out maybe some travelers packages with local hotels and motels and
Yes.
food eateries and bars and restaurants. Just, it is a 3-day event, and if people are traveling and staying, we want to make sure that they are happy
Absolutely.
and joyous and free in Wenatchee, East Wenatchee, while they're here.
Yes.
Yeah, right. It's the same weekend as the NCW fair too.
Oh, nice.
So,
there's lots
yeah,
of other things
lots
going
of other
on.
things.
You don't have to just spend all your time here.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So if you want more information, WashingtonStateSwapMeet.com. I told you guys there was a lot going on.
Heck yeah, there is.
All right. We are after 2:00. It's time for us to go.
We made it.
We did it. Man, this was jam-packed. Don't forget, we do have, I'm going to put that ticket form giveaway up
Yeah.
on
Silent auction at
darlingproductionswa.com.
Pangborn.
Silent auction.
Wow.
That will be
Dinner
for
and big band.
July 7th for the Wenatchee Big Band Dinner Silent Auction for the Festival of Flights. We have that giveaway. We have the ticket sales for the Ladies Night Comedy. So get all the information up on darlingproductionswa.com. How did you feel after your first show?
I mean, not that bad. It's pretty. I mean, I've worked cold calling people. If you can do that, you feel like you can do it.
yeah.
If you're knocking on doors, like asking people for donations for charities and things. Like,
Yeah.
I've worked grassroots campaigns.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we're happy to have you as part of the show.
Happy to be here. Maybe
Eh.
more to come.
Grayson,
Yes, man.
good to have you here.
Always
Yes.
good to be here.
We're going to
Yes.
Show it.
show it
Do it.
Show it.
just for good measure for the day. All right, guys. Thank you. This is our Davy Award because we are still in Pride Month, right?
Yes.
And next week, we will be broadcasting live in front of Miss Vidal
Ooh.
to celebrate the Pangborn Festival of Flights.
I'm excited for that.
Right?
Yeah.
We'll have her right behind us. It'll be a great
close
scene.
and
That's
personal.
so exciting. I
Yeah.
hope I get to kiss it.
Oh, well, maybe for your birthday. Next week is also Grayson's birthday. All right. I want to thank all my guests on today's
21 Grayson,
program.
right? That's
Forever.
Yeah.
21 forever. Mary Big Bull Lewis from Wenatchee Wear and Earth. Bliss
Yes.
Littler from the Wenatchee Wilds. Plus a big thank you to Erica Moshi from the Brave Warrior
Yes.
Project for having us here and hosting us at their facility today. It
Mhm.
is amazing.
Oh my
place.
gosh. You need to come down here and just hang out.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they'll love you, and
Just-
it's just a fun place to be.
Hang out with their participants.
Absolutely.
Spend some time with them. Make them your friends.
It's pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
I don't even think I saw you the rest of the tour because I was busy walking around.
You walked in the room and somebody walked up to you and grabbed your hand and you guys went for a walk.
We
and
just
that
went
was
for
it.
a walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I lost you.
You
Yeah,
did.
that was it.
That was it.
We'll be back next week. We'll be in front of Miss Vidal up at the
Yes.
tarmac.
See
So
you then.
for another episode of What's Up Wenatchee Valley, where we be broadcasting up there at Pangborn's Festival of Flights. Join the community at wuw.supercast.com for exclusive What's Up Wenatchee content And you can catch up on past episodes of the What's Up Wenatchee show over on our YouTube page. All right, let's say goodbye, everybody. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Get in here, Grayson. Yeah. Bye.